All right, this is step one in Japanese Mexican food. At least that's what I call it. We take a London broil. I guess that makes it English too. So we're making Japanese English tacos. First step is kikoman. I always thought it was kink. I guess I never slowed down to read it. Kikoman. KKK. 3 Ks. That's some racist-ass teriyaki sauce right there. Anyhow, well, we all knew Japanese were racist. They tried to take the world over in World War II, right? Okay, I probably just offended some people. It was a joke, so get over it. Anyhow, teriyaki sauce, this brand. This is the one that I prefer. There's others, but I don't know. Some of the other teriyaki sauces are sweet. This is more of a salty teriyaki sauce, and so for what I'm making, it works pretty much the best. It pours out of this thing slower than, oh, not slower than molasses, but pretty darn close. But you don't need a whole lot to marinate it. What have we used? About half the jar? Yeah, so that's good. Then we'll zip that back up. We'll fold this, lay it down, flip it a couple times, and leave it overnight. It's still a little frozen. It just came out of the freezer. Just in the center, it's a little frozen. So we'll let it finish thawing out as it marinades in this teriyaki sauce. And then we'll film the next steps tomorrow when we cook it. Okay, we got the Weber Q nice and warmed up. We've got the meat all marinated out. We're going to put it on there, grill it up. I'm going to keep the bag with the juice and the marinade out here. That way I can pour a little bit more over it. I have more in the jar, but I'm going to save that for the finished product when I save the cold slices for snacks later. Kind of a thick piece of meat, so we'll give it about 15 minutes on each side on a almost all the way high heat, medium to high, closer to high than medium. And the wind is blowing really strong, which I wouldn't be surprised if you can hear that on the microphone. So it may take a little longer than 15 minutes on each side. Sometimes you might get by with 10. It all depends on how hot your barbecue is, how thick the meat is, and how well you like to have it done. Somehow I prefer medium rare, but I always cook stuff closer to medium well. I don't know. I've been barbecuing for years. And the only time I get real medium rare is when I order it in a restaurant. When I cook it myself, I always think, that's not done enough. Okay, it's looking pretty much done. I should have started this video with my pivot heads, but a little late now. I'm using the phone, which means I've got one hand occupied, so I'm just going to have to show you step by step instead of as I do it. And the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to cut this into strips when we're done. So first thing we do is we cut it in half long ways and look inside. And as you can already see, that's not done. So looks like we've got another, I don't know, at least another 10 or 15 minutes. Like I said, when the wind's blowing, the heat doesn't go directly to the item like I would like. We might have to set something up out here to block the wind, but anyways, I'm not going to show you the end of this. I already showed you how I check it. The next thing you'll see is how I cut it and then what I'm going to do next. Okay, so we have cut all these strips, or cut this London broil up into strips. Now, some of the strips we're about to make a burrito with. The rest we're going to put into a plastic baggie with some more of that teriyaki sauce and just put it in the fridge. I can reheat it later for more burritos or just eat it cold, and it's amazingly good even cold. Okay, so at this point we've taken a couple pieces of meat, heated up some tortillas, placed them in the tortillas. You could chop the meat up finer if you want. I don't have a lot of counter space here. It's kind of hard to cut, and I can eat it just fine like this. And then it's all just kind of a matter of choice. I'm thinking I might add some of this double kick hot sauce. I won this from a contest online. It's hot sauce with caffeine in it. Or I may just use some Taco Bell packets. I'm absolutely going to put some guacamole on it. And probably a little cheese. Like I said, to each their own. With the meat, I took a little bit of the juice and poured it on each of these burritos. I guess that's what they're called. Just to give them a little more flavor. And you can always pour some of the juice directly out of the bottle if you really like that teriyaki flavor and you really want to soup it up. And except for the hot sauce, that's finished product for me. I'll roll it up like a burrito and eat it. I don't put a lot of cheese on. I don't want to over-flavor the power of the meat too much. I mean, that is the main filler. All these other things are just to give an extra little something to it. Do whatever you want. Cook whatever you want. Cook it right. Share if there's people around. And never let anyone tell you you can't. Okay, I thought I was done with this video, but I actually used some of this double kick caffeinated hot sauce. And I am really surprised. It is excellent. I love hot sauces. I'm kind of a hot sauce connoisseur. I wasn't expecting much out of this because it came for free from a tobacco company. And it said caffeinated, so I figure, you know, it's just a gimmick. But oh my God, this is so good. As you can see, I didn't put a lot on. And I'm no lightweight with hot stuff. The hotter the better. But this is not just good and hot, it has a really, really good flavor. So it set these burritos off just right. I'm almost done with the other one.